So, back in the days, our ancestors, they did not cut their cabs. They did not sip protein drinks. They did not count, their calories. They did not go on that diet or this diet. But what did they have? They had energy. They had strength. And guess what? They lived longer. My great grandmother lived to about 107 years old, I think, but she was past 100. And I thought to myself, what are they doing right? If you look at just the way they live their life, the way they act, the way they socialize, you will realize that there is a lot of wisdom that we can use today. And in this video, we are going to uncover how our ancestral eating could be the missing key to a better health. Hello, my queens. My name is Titilayo, by the way, and today we are going to be diving into how ancestral eating shaped the way they are and what went wrong with us and how we can use this ancient wisdom to restore energy, digestion, and hormonal balance. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and join me as we connect cultural roots with modern wellness. So, what did our ancestors really eat? Back in the days, our ancestors they ate whole foods, natural foods. They ate fermented food. They went to the farm, got their foods from the farm, they cooked it, they washed it, and they made sure that everything they ate was organic. They ate food according to the season, and most of their food were all culturally aligned. They hardly even had processed food. Processed food was rare at those times, so everything they ate came from the ground, came from animals, and they lived a vibrant life. Whilst they took all their food from the land and the animals, they were always active. They were always on their feet, going to the farm, getting water from the wells, building houses, doing a lot of things. They were so active that most of the time they would not even have breakfast because for them at that point breakfast was not really important. What was important for them was them to go about their daily work and activities, for them to be able to provide shelter, food, water for their families, and they will go about doing that. Even snacking, they didn't snack as we normally snack, because the main reason why we snack is because most of the time we are bored and we just feel like if we move our mouths, give our mouth something exciting to do, and we're gonna be all right. No, they didn't do that. They didn't spend their time on social media flicking through. What they did, they mind their business. They went about their own business, and when it was time for them to eat, they would eat fresh food, all fresh food, cooked meals, and my queens, that nourished their bodies, that gave them strength, that gave them energy. Their mental faculty was always working so well. And whenever they were sick, they didn't have a medicine cabinet. Back in the days, they had doctors, but doctors were very expensive. So they didn't do all of that. They would go and get medicinal herbs, use it. They knew how to take care of themselves. They knew how to use like medicine from plants, from animals, from wood, from trees. They used all of these things, and this can be of great help to us if we start looking at the way our ancestors ate. So, what has changed? The rise of convenience change. We now have processed foods. Firstly, what really changed was bread. Bread was like a big game changer. A lot of people now loved bread because of the quick energy it brought. So we had bread, we had lots of processed foods, we had foods that were laid with sugar, laid with fat, with fake fat, and there was just so much that changed. And now, with the ease of convenience, now you can take your car. There's so many cars around us. There's so many transportation. You can take your car to work. You can take your car to the supermarket. You don't have to leave your home even for work. You can work right from your home. The ease of convenience has changed everything. And right now, my queens, we are suffering. And you need to start looking at the ways that we can incorporate the ancient wisdom that our ancestors use. Now, one way that you can go back without going backward is to cut out processed food. I know it is very hard in this day and age to cut out processed food, but one way that I have learned to minimize processed food is to use the 80-20 rule. Now, the 80-20 rule is, I'm not sure who created that, but I learned it from somewhere. The 80-20 rule is where you 80% of the time eat healthy foods and 20% of the time is when you eat unhealthy food like processed food. So this is a way that I have learned to reduce and minimize the impact of processed foods on our body, because these processed foods that we eat and that is so quick for us to reach is the one that is causing a lot of hormonal imbalance, a lot of stresses, mood swings, a lot of illnesses that we are suffering in this day and age. Because back in the days, our ancestors, they didn't have doctors, they didn't have a lot of medical advancement that we have now. In this age, we have so much medical advancement, we have so much knowledge, we have so much technology, but yet we are suffering, yet people are dying young. What is the cause of this? My queens, it's time that we start looking at the way our ancestors ate and start cutting and reducing things that are not meant for us. Processed foods are not meant for the human body. It's already processed by machines. By the time it gets into us, it has very little or minimal effect on us. What processed food does is to make you eat more and more of it. It gets you addicted to it. And the damage it causes in our body is enormous. So, my queens, use the 80-20% rule, because I know that cutting out processed food in this day and age is very difficult. But if you follow through with the 80 to 20% rule, you will be able to regain more health. You'll be able to have more energy and more strength. Another way that we can go back without actually going back is to move more. I know we have so much convenience around us on a daily basis that we don't even have to lift a finger anymore. Now, my quiz, because of that, you have to intentionally create the time to move. During work, if you're working from home, take an hour to walk, go for a walk, or do an exercise during your lunch break, or in the morning, be active, move around. Even if you don't have the time, create that time intentionally. You cannot sit down 24/7 and expect that same body to work for you, because you are actually retiring your body at an early age. You're retiring your muscles at an early age. The more you begin to do that to your body will feel like, oh my God, we are not needed here anymore. We must well just deteriorate. And this is what happens. And the minute your body starts to realize that it's not being used, what happens? You lose it. So It's either you use it or you lose it. So, my queens, your body remembers. It remembers where it comes from. It thrives when you honor where you came from. And this isn't about restriction, it's about reconnection. I would love you to reclaim your health by eating with intention, just a little bit like our ancestors ate. If you like this video, please like, share, and comment with another sister. Bye for now.